So what that means is that we need to account for that angle in our adjustment. This adjustment is going to look precisely like the index finger contact rotation fixation C2 to C7 that I showed you guys last week. The only difference is that, if you recall, the rotational adjustments, the contact is applied to an articular pillar. If you notice here, C1 has no articular pillar. C1 has a posterior arch. It has a posterior arch, no lumpy, bumpy articular pillar, so no articular pillar for you. All we're going to be doing is we're going to be applying a contact to the posterior arch in the place that our articular pillar would be if there were one. Okay? So, can I have somebody to assist me in the demonstration of the motion palpation that would lead you to this adjustment and then also the correction of it? I'll do it. Okay, thanks, Jasmine. I'm going to want you to come and sit and face the wall here. Okay, so for you guys first, and then I'll show you guys second. To remind you guys of the motion palpation that would lead you to this adjustment. Actually, you know what? Let's have you straddle the table instead so that you're facing that one. Okay, finger goes onto the TVP of C1, which is just underneath the earlobe. Okay, you can drop your hair now. And the thumb goes onto the spinous process of C2. What you're going to do is you're going to rotate the head ever so slightly, no more than about 15 degrees away from your contact. So what's happening here is as you rotate the head, the TVP also moves anteriorly. But because you're only rotating the head 15 degrees, no more, what that's doing is it's rotating C1, but C2 is remaining stable. It's not going anywhere. So as a result, what you should feel is an increased gapping between your fingers. Does that make sense? No, not on this side. Okay. So, if you find that the fingers don't gap, then the side that's not gapping, that's the side that you are correcting for. Okay? Come lie down on your back. Okay, so I'm going to be adjusting this side. But I'm going to set up for it on this side just so that you guys can see what it's like. Okay, so this is going to look very similar to like I showed you last week. So you're standing at the headpiece ever so slightly ipsilateral to the lesion. If I was on this side. What I'd be doing is I'd be putting my index finger around here onto the posterior arch in the place that an articular pillar would be. I have to take out skin slack. I can either take my non-adjusting hand, circle the skin up, and place my finger there. Or what I can do is I can take my adjusting hand, slide underneath the neck, press up, slide out, just like I did last week. So it'll look like this. Now I know I'm on the posterior arch of C1 when I feel the ulnar surface of my finger butting up against the occiput, right? Because C1's the first one. So if I'm feeling the head, that's good, and if I don't feel the head, I'm too low. Okay, so setting up on the proper side. Okay, skin slack, you want that nice bulge of tissue just like we did last week. Get into that squat, because you want your arms pretty much parallel to the floor. And we're going to pick up the baby. And we're going to do flexion. We're going to do some lateral flexion. And we're going to do some rotation. Now because this angle of the facet is superior oblique, I'm going to be stepping across and rotating the head until I can't rotate it anymore, and then I'm going to finish with a quick rotation. Okay, so this looks very similar. This is the same. This is the same as what I showed you last week. Let's see how it looks. Nope. There we go. Okay.
How did you know it was no?